Good morning. Resistor. So resistor is that particular component which opposes the current flow, right? Which opposes the current flow. Now let us see the factors influencing the resistance of conductor, right? The first factor is nature of materials. Okay, now here let us take a battery to measure current, ammeter, a key. These are the conducting wires. Let P and Q be the end terminals of that conducting wires. Now to know how the resistance depends upon the nature of the material, let us collect some different rods, metal rods of same length and same cross section area, like copper, aluminium, iron, etc. Such rods we are taking. Now first connect one rod between these gaps. Copper, connect, for example let us take copper, between these gap PQ. Okay, now measure the electric current using a meter and note down the value. Okay, now next disconnect copper and connect aluminium and measure the electric current value using ammeter. So in such a way repeat the experiment. Now if you see the values, we find that current values are different for different materials, which shows that this resistance depends upon the nature of conductor, because different metals are having different current values with this experiment. So we can say that resistance of conductor depends on nature of material. It depends on nature of material. Now let us go for the second factor. The second factor is length of conductor. Alright. Now here we are taking the same circuit. We are taking the rods or iron spokes. Let us take as example iron rod or iron spokes of a different length. Let us take of a different length we are taking. Okay, now first connect one iron spoke between these gaps. Okay, now next say some 10 centimeter. So let us take 10 centimeter iron spoke, connect between the gap P and Q. Okay, now measure the current value using ammeter. As usual, using ammeter you just measure the current value. And note down in your book. And again take another length of iron spoke, connect between P and Q gap and repeat the experiment. So now you will find that current decreases with increase in length. With increase in length of spoke. Here what is happening? Current is decreasing with increase in length, we are saying. Current is decreasing with increase in length of spoke. So current is decreasing with increase in length means as length is increasing, the resistance is increasing, no? We can say, it directly says that as length of spoke increases, the resistance increases. Resistance means what? Which resists the current flow, I said. As the length of spoke increases, resistance increases. So only we are seeing current is decreasing. So from this we can say that resistance is directly proportional to the length. Resistance is directly proportional to the length. Now let us move for the third factor, that is cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area of conductors. Here as usual, let us collect some iron rods of same length but different cross-sectional area. Different cross-sectional area, right? Now as usual, connect one of the iron rod. Connect one of the iron rod in this PQ gap. Make the circuit. Connect one of the iron rod between this PQ gap and make the circuit. And as usual, you note down the current using a meter. Note down the current using a meter and note down on the notebook. Similarly, repeat the experiment for another iron rods and see how the current is changing. Here we find that current flowing through the rod, increases. Okay, current flowing through the rod increases with increase in cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area, what we find it? So we took the iron rods of same length but different cross-sectional areas. First one we connected, we noted the value of current. We took another rod whose cross-section area is greater than the first one and we repeated the experiment for all. We find out that current increases with increase in cross-sectional area. So current is increasing with increase in cross-sectional area means nothing but resistance decreases with increase of cross-sectional area, right? Resistance decreases with increase of cross-sectional area. Means as area increases, resistance decreases. So only the flow of current is increasing. So we can say that resistance of conductor is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area. Resistance of conductor is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area. That is R proportional to 1 by A. R proportional to 1 by A. Now clubbing this, we get R proportional to L by A. That is resistance directly proportional to the length, resistance inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area. R proportional to L by A. Right? Now we can write R is equal to rho L by A. Okay? We can write R proportional to rho L by A. Now here Rho is the proportionality constant, and we call that proportionality constant as specific resistance or simply resistivity, or simply we call it as resistivity. Right? Now next, let us go for some points related to this. The first point, specific resistance or resistivity. It depends on temperature, nature of material, Next, resistance depends on nature of material. It depends on nature of material, temperature, and geometrical factor of conductor. That is length, area of cross section. Right? Next, the units for resistance is ohms, and this is the symbolic representation, a Greek letter. Right? Next, units for resistivity is ohm meter. We call it as ohm meter, units for resistivity. And next, a reciprocal of resistivity, that is 1 by rho. We call it as conductivity. And is denoted by symbol sigma. Alright? Now next, value of resistivity. Of material determines their conductivity. Right? Now next, metals with low resistivity behave as good conductors. Metals with low resistivity behaves as good conductors. Right? Now next, the filament of electric bulb. We use tungsten. The filament of electric bulb, we use tungsten. Why we use tungsten means only due to the reason that it has higher resistivity. So melts. Okay, and the melting point is 3422 degrees Celsius. It has higher resistivity, and the melting point of tungsten is 3422 degrees Celsius. Now next, the nichrome is used in heating elements. Such as electric irons, toasters, etc. due to higher resistivity only. Higher resistivity values, due to its higher resistivity values. Right? Now, do you know what is the nichrome? How it is made? It is an alloy of nickel, chromium and iron. It is an alloy of nickel, chromium and iron, right? So next, alloys like nichrome and manganese, alloys like nichrome and manganese are also used at where the temperature is very little. Why? Means they do not oxidize easily. As they do not oxidize easily, we use these alloys at the temperature where the temperature values are very small. Alright. Now next, the resistivity which lies between a good conductor and a insulator, we call it as semiconductor. Examples of semiconductor are germanium and silicon. Now semiconductors are used to prepare diodes, transistors and integrated circuits. Do you know what is circuit? Circuit means that particular combination which is having more than one device, so that receives electric energy from source, So when components of circuit are connected in series, there will be single path for flow of electrons between the terminals of battery or generator or wall socket. Now if whatever the components we are using in the circuit, if that components of circuit are connected in series, then current has single path to flow. Okay. So now here even these can be connected in parallel. The components of circuit, when they are connected parallel to each other, then they form branches, and each branch provides separate path for flow of electrons or current. Okay. So if they are connected in series, current has only single path. If they are connected in parallel, they form branches, and these branches form separate path for flow of electrons. Now next, let us see about the series combination of resistors. Alright. Now here, this is one resistor. Let us take some 3 resistors. This is the symbolic representation of resistor. Alright. Let us connect a battery, an ammeter, a key, a voltmeter, right? Okay. Let it be R1, R2, R3. Okay. And here voltage be V1, V2, V3. Now this is the current flow. every time current flows from positive to negative terminal of the battery, right? Now here, as we connected these resistors in series, current has only single path to flow. It has only single path to flow. Now here, in such a position, the sum of potential differences will be equal to the total potential difference will be equal to the potential differences V1 plus V2 plus V3 across the combination of resistors will be equal to the potential differences across the combination of resistors. Now from Ohm's law we know that V equal to IR. So now here, following this Ohm's law, we can write V1 equal to I R1, V2 equal to I R2, V3 equal to I R3, right? Let R equivalent be the equivalent resistor, equivalent resistance of combination of resistors in series, then we can write V equal to I R equivalent. Now substituting these values, I R equivalent equal to I R1 plus I R2 plus I R3. I comes out as common, we can strike off it, so we will get R equivalent equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the resistance value R1 plus R2 plus R3 when resistors are connected in the series. The sum of individual resistors is equal to their equivalent resistance when resistors are connected in series. The sum of individual resistances is equal to their equivalent resistance when resistors are connected in series, right? Now let us go for a parallel connection. Resistors in parallel combination, okay, right? Now here as usual I took 3 resistors, 1 2 3. Now in such a way I am connecting R1, R2, R3 to a battery, ammeter, key, in such a way, okay, in such a way. Now here these are the 2 end terminals, let it be A and B. Now here current, if I is the current flowing here, it divides at the junction as I1, I2, I3, right? I1, I2 and I3. And again at this junction they again combine and comes out as I, okay, combine and comes out as I. Now at these end terminals in parallel connection we find that voltage difference is same or potential difference. At these end terminals is same. Okay, now as usual using Ohm's law, V equal to IR, we can write I equal to VR, right? So I equal to I1 equal to V by R1 since potential is same, I2 equal to V by R2, I3 equal to V by R3, right? Now if R equivalent is equivalent resistance in parallel combination, we can write I equivalent is equal to V by R equivalent. Okay, and now here the current is taken as I1 plus I2 plus I3, right? So now the summation of the currents, so now I equivalent, so V by R equivalent equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. Now V cos we can strike off, it comes here, if we take here common, here V is striked off, so 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So this is the value of resistors when connected in parallel, right? So this is about resistor which resists the current or opposes the current flow, the factors influencing the resistor, and the series and parallel combination of resistors. Thank you. Here this is R3, sorry, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3.